already. Are we gonna get another day of volatility? Yes or no? Yes or no? That's the question. Welcome everyone. I'm trying to find my power bank. Dun, 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 dun. Very nice. Okay. Welcome everyone. It's news time. It currently is 2:30, and that means that we have some high impact news according to the economic calendar here, 2:30 p.m. So let's see what we get. Make sure you trade safe, as of course with news it can increase the volatility on the chart. Now, we covered a couple of scenarios, of course, in the morning update with regards to what was mentioned just earlier by TP in the chat here. Of course, your absolute most bullish scenario, just to jump straight in shortly, would be a finished corrective structure, and this is a finished one. This would be 2, and you just lift off in 3. From a probabilities perspective, however, that is not something that can have the highest probabilities. Because if this is a finished 1 and this is your wave 2, your wave 2 is very, very shallow. Now, mind you that the fibs on my chart were taken up till the point of control. So I need to take them down to the high. And I also have to toggle on the 236. And then you can see that price retraced to the 0.236. But the 0.236 is a very rare target for a wave 2. So we cannot give it the highest probabilities from an Elliott wave point of view. It is a scenario that we can of course keep in mind, but from a probabilities perspective, which in the end is, you know, what the only thing that we can really use in trading, it doesn't have the highest probabilities. It supports the narrative on the daily time frame where we still look for impulsive continuation in a wave 5 at a later stage. But locally here, the probabilities are not very high for this to be a wave 2, this be the low, and then move up. In that case, it would be better to actually get a deeper retracement first and then launch, right? So that you enter the common target area. So I'll repeat this in a little bit when everyone comes in, as I see slowly but surely everyone joining. Welcome everyone. Good to have you here. And if you've been checking out Instagram, yesterday I uploaded a lot of stuff on Instagram. It was a very active day indeed. And I'm also actually happy to say that a couple of things arrived today. First of all, let's see, can I? Yeah, I can get it. First of all, my new microphone has not yet arrived, so I'm still waiting for my microphone. But what has arrived is my own. All right, let me do this. You know, we're improving everywhere, and I got my own like KOIN cap. So when I got the mic stand. I just don't have the mic yet, right? So, but at least we got this. So I can put that on like chuck, and then ta-da, and then I'll be talking in my own personal KOIN cap. Now the Z is green. I'm gonna make another one with a white Z because it kind of like drops away a little bit. It's not bad because there's light coming in, so it reflects on my plop cup, as we say in the Netherlands. But nonetheless, like I'm gonna order another one and get a white one with the green O, but then a white Z. Second, my new laptop arrived today. So my first MacBook ever has arrived. I do not have any experience with the macOS system. But it has arrived, and I haven't yet had the time to figure it out. I just unpacked it, I checked it, and also, you know, if you follow me on Instagram, you've seen it already. So probably tonight I'll try to put some hours in it and see what I can do. But before I'm actually going to put it to use as my main dock, I first need to learn the system, and then I switch it around. I'll get my gaming laptop out and then get the Mac One in. Exciting stuff, you know, like slowly but surely everything is starting to arrive to upgrade the whole system. Of course, I have the prompter, improved webcam, got the Streamer X dock. I need my microphone, and then, you know, once my mic is here, we can pretty much start building. Probably need a USB dock, Thunderbolt 5 dock as well. But you know, the quality of the content and the experience is gonna improve, which of course is my goal. You know, also the sound is gonna improve with the new microphone, XLR cable, and all that stuff is gonna be part of the whole setup, so that you have the best experience watching the content. Of course, the analysis is always gonna be central. I always try to improve the analysis, like for example with the polylines, right? That an idea that came recently, which an incredible amount of positive feedback on the polylines, which is awesome to see. So I always try to innovate and improve wherever I can to give you the most amount of clarity, the most amount of information. But of course, besides the content itself, as in the Elliott wave analysis, I also try to upgrade the dock and the system that makes you watch, right? Like the stuff you see, the stuff you hear. The camera quality, webcam goes up with the new system. I can up the recording quality as well. It's HD, but I could even go 4K if I want to. And with the new mic, the sound quality will improve as well. So, you know, and then I have a new light coming as well. So a bit more lighting, and a closet in the background, so it's not that empty, will come as well. And, you know, lots of stuff. So, we are slowly but surely improving the whole thing. So, other than that, as always at the beginning, we always have a short little bit chatting and Q&A. Gotta be honest, guys, I really gotta up my game with making posts. My editor is posting, but I am posting in the stories, and I'll put the sound off. But just very shortly, in a nutshell, I'll show you what happened. So we were at Shortly Hotel Negresco here in Nice. Got some new sunglasses there. We got the baby of this big one as a present, as a gift from someone. You can watch all of this. This is in Monaco. So just explaining what's happening. Little doggo. Right. Now this is really cool. I love cars, and it's so rare, right, to see like old school Ferraris on the road. So really awesome to actually see and hear the car. This is just Monaco by night, with my wife here and the mom of my wife. Dinner, another short, walking around, and there we go. That's the news station that arrived. So I'm very active on Instagram story. I try to be as active as I can. If you just want to have a look and see what I'm up to outside of streaming and content, then feel free to check it. So welcome everyone. Jeffrey, what's up? Eva, TP, welcome. Tim, good to have you here, man, from the Netherlands. Gaurav, Bitcoin going for ultra hours. Here we created first till 98K. These type of questions are always difficult to answer, because in the end it's probabilities. But from a probability standpoint, the analysis of this morning holds. And I, of course, will redo the analysis shortly as a summary in this video as well. So in other words, preferably, you would look for upside, but the point of control just above us at about 102.7 is very important resistance. If you pass this, then there's not much left for all-time high, but looking for a bit of a retracement has a higher probability. No joke, welcome Dasek with a big logo on the wall that you can take with you if you would move someday. Oh yeah, we'll probably move in less than 2 years time, 1.5 year time. But maybe like what I would really like myself as a backdrop is I would love like a green backdrop, maybe even with plants and that sort of stuff, and then have the logo in there. That would be pretty cool. But that's only going to be stuff that once we buy something here in the south of France, as we recently moved, then I'm going to change the whole thing. I want to have blue walls, I want to have green walls, I want to have white walls, and then upgrade everything. Rahul, what's up? Map, welcome. Good to have you here. My cool friend LJ, how you doing? From the Netherlands as well, usually the north of the Netherlands. Maybe you're on your bike again while watching. Dog, how you doing? Came out higher than expected. Is that bullish or bearish? Because I'm not really involved with the news. Seriga, Agent J, Cheese. What's up, guys? QZ, Ice Cubes Lady, good morning. Sam, Ace Winner, Anup. While there, any chance you bumped into Charles Leclerc? No, but I did bump in his into his girlfriend the other day when I was in Monaco, which was in... that was in June. So when I was in Monaco in June, before we moved, I checked out an apartment in Beausoleil, which is just behind Monaco. And then before going to the flight, I was walking around in Monaco. I visited the Ferrari store, which is opposite of the Grimaldi Forum. And just when I walked out of the Ferrari store, I happened to bump into the girlfriend of Charles Leclerc, and she was holding the dog, and she had a bodyguard as well. So just a very short exchange of words, but nothing in particular. That's worth mentioning. But no, didn't bump into Charles somewhere. I'm also not really, I'm not a fan dude at all. Like if I see those people, I'm not approaching, like they just live their life. I grew up in the same village as where Ruud van Nistelrooy lives. His kid was playing soccer at the club where I played soccer in the Netherlands. Ruud van Nistelrooy was living about, let's say, 200 meters away from my place where I grew up. And I saw him multiple times, you know, like it's not even, yeah. I'm not really attracted by every time you see someone, you approach them, and that's not my style. I just let them be. I had the luck, I suppose, or the honor in my career, especially in the gaming and esports career, and being the first esports player in the Netherlands to receive a professional sports status, which made me be around a lot of professional athletes, which of course are very famous in the country. I never they're just normal like human beings. I never approach them, ask for signatures, pictures, and it's just we just have a chat. If we happen to bump into one another, have a bit of a chat, and then just continue with your day. You know what I mean? It would be the same here in Monaco if I would approach these people. But yeah, exactly. Just another person doing the job, and just, you know, I can imagine they also like to actually have peace. Now, with regards to Elliott wave analysis, let's start with Bitcoin, and then we're going to move into the into some alts. Have a little bit of a look. All right, so cool. As always on the weekly, right? Important to zoom out 19 minutes into the stream. Perfect. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Still the higher probability scenario. Till proven otherwise. Maximum target is 130k. Locally, we still expect price to move towards the upside though, but keep an eye on this general target area. On the monthly time frame, the target area would move all the way up to 180k. Now, moving above 180 would really significantly improve probabilities for more bullish scenarios. It's already quite a stretch, of course, from 130 to 180. But on the monthly time frame, at least, we could stretch it to there. But for now, this is your common target area here on a weekly time frame, and your alternative, more bullish scenario is continuation. In that case, you want volume to move up as price is moving up, right? That's something that we are looking for, and you want to smash through those wave 5 targets. On a daily time frame, nothing changed. Probabilities are higher. We are still looking for higher prices, looking for new all-time highs to come after we finish ranging, right? Bit of a sideways ranging structure. And then we look for price to move up. Now, this is arguably your quote-unquote bullish scenario. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5. 2 more pushes to the upside. You could add another potential 1, 2, depending on how one likes to count this structure here, and then add another 4, 5, or you count this as a separate 1, 2, and add another 4, 5. But that is a problem for at a later stage, right? That's a puzzle for later. That's not relevant at the moment because the price action shorter term is exactly the same, similar to this scenario here. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now blue 3 is finished, blue 4, blue 5. It's the same thing. However, if you do look for a blue 4, you want to range here for a longer period of time, right? You shouldn't yet be finished. You want to continue and then move up. This would be too short for a blue 4. While if we do move up soon, then it can definitely work as a white 4 and then look for 2 more pushes up. So time is going to play an important role. And if we then go to the 1 hour time frame, so on the weekly time frame, in other words, we still look for price to move up, but we are looking for a wave 5 as a primary count and the more bullish double 1, 2 as an alternative. On the daily time frame, we're looking for 4s and 5s, so basically just a ranging structure and eventually continue to the upside in an impulse. While on the 1 hour time frame, basically in a nutshell, the probabilities are highest for on the shorter term, of course, for this, right? Now let me explain because these are the polylines from earlier today. So I have 3 scenarios. Sounds a bit much, but the price action is actually quite similar, as you can see here, right? So let me get through this. Now, first of all, there's 2 ways of counting a triangle here, right? So we have a 1, 2, or sorry, 1, 2, lol, A, B, C, D, and then a wave E. But the invalidation for this scenario is for price to take out this high. Now it just missed out on taking out this high, right? So in this particular scenario, you want price to move down right now. Then we look for support, continue up. The support to the downside that is interesting is 97K together with the daily at 96.6K. So this area would be an interesting area of support for wave E in the triangle A, B, C, D, E. And the ratio of this triangle, meaning the size of each individual wave, looks pretty good, no? Of course, your wave C here is a little bit longer, but your wave C can then be counted as a more complex structure, which is no problem. So we then have our A, B, C, D, E, and then you want to continue towards the upside. Something that I am thinking about, however, is time, and not FIB time, but weekdays versus weekend days, right? Today, it's Thursday. If we come down for a wave E, then we have one more day to get out of here. Because if the weekend is going to hit and Saturday and Sunday, you're going to have a sideways range. In that case, if this triangle would be true, you move down for E, then you would need, during the weekend, you would need to build a sideways range in a couple of 1, 2s, and then early next week, you start. It is very rare for an impulse to accelerate during the weekend. Most commonly, that happens during the week when the markets are open and the weekend is a ranging structure. So if price would move down, in that case, I'd be looking for a couple of 1, 2s over the weekend, and then the 3 only starts next week. That's just, I suppose, a detail with regards to the days. Now, this is, of course, your first triangle, A, B, C, D, E, up. Alternatively, if you take out this high, that is invalidated because D can't move above B. Then you have to count A, B, C, D, E, and then up. But what you can see immediately is that your B is very big compared to your A, and that just lowers the probabilities of the whole triangle scenario, right? Now, 1 hour bullish scenario, we have a finished 3-wave corrective structure, but the movement in price is quite similar locally. So we have then WXY, zigzag, X is then a zigzag family structure, and then we have our wave Y triangle. And then here we look for a 5-wave structure, finish 1, 3-wave correction, 2, and then continuation to the upside. Common target for 2, 98.4. Well, I mean, let's do it precise with the current high that we have, I suppose, 98.2 to 95.9. I would like it if price moves up once more and takes, hits the 886. We have some resistance up here as well at 102.7K, which is quite attractive resistance indeed, and then move down. So I pulled it to the 886, but your minimum target, if your one would be finished, would be 99K. common 98.1, 95.9. Yeah. So yeah, depends on the local price action. And then after your 2, you continue up in your wave 3. In validation, taking the lows at 94.4. And then finally, this is a more complex scenario, but then again, your price action locally is actually very similar, right? And then once you would get a rejection, you take it from there, right? And then we'll see based on new information what happens. But in the bearish scenario, which from a psychology point of view is by far the most interesting scenario, you would swipe these lows, which would actually be awesome. I'm not going to complain. Like there's a lot of liquidity here, which is nice as well. But what you're looking at, very simplistic without looking at this here, is a 3-wave WXY or ABC, right? And then you continue to the upside. Now, in both of these scenarios, however, you want to actually take out this high of W, which we haven't yet. So in this scenario, we still want to move up first. The moment we move up, you'll probably think now, oh wait, but if we move up, it's a problem for the triangle because then your D moves above your B. That is true, right? So then an A, B, C, D, E goes out the window. The only triangle that then is left is this, but it has lower probabilities, right? So the moment you take out this high, the probabilities for either your bullish scenario, this, or your bearish scenario, this, increase. Interestingly. So the ranging scenario decreases and the bullish and bearish scenario increase in probabilities. And then based on the move to the downside, we'll know what happens next, right? So what you're looking at here, of course, is then a 3-wave structure. You can see I have a yellow and a purple count, WXY, ABC. A little bit nitty-gritty stuff, but basically a flat, which is the pink count, ABC, 3-wave A, 3-wave B, 5-wave C. Minimum target is the 0.9 and 102.8K. And guess what? Perfectly in confluence with the point of control of the all-time high range here. So that is why it's such an interesting area of resistance. Now, if the 09 is touched, minimum target for B, mind you, of course, that a B can be higher, that's no problem, but the minimum target is the 09 with the point of control here. If it is touched and price moves down impulsively, we're looking for C. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Swipe the lows, high amount of volume, wreck everyone, scared, la-di-la-di-la. And then after all that liquidity is taken and all the long leveraged longs are out of the market, then we continue and move back towards the upside. Very, very attractive scenario. And then we have our WXY being a complex structure, but the movement is relatively similar, right? 3-wave W, 3-wave in X, and then look down for Y. Now in wave X or B, we need an internal 3-wave count, which in this case then has to be a double zigzag. Zigzag W, X, zigzag Y. Wave X in blue did touch the 0.7 Fibonacci taken from the start to the end of W, which lowers the probabilities for a double zigzag, but it is not an invalidation. Right? It's not an invalidation. And because of the recent move up, right, I gotta count this as a WXY double zigzag, even though we hit the 07. Right? It lowers the probabilities. It's not an invalidation, so I just want to have it on my chart just in case. Right? Preparation is the key to success. However, we do want our wave Y to take out W, which didn't yet happen. So we want price to move up first and then find resistance and move to the downside. And because we also hit the yellow 0.7, right, taken from the start to the end of yellow W, it lowers the probabilities your yellow WXY is going to be a double zigzag, meaning for this wave Y, if you finish X, preferably you're going to look for a flat. Now, how amazing would this be, right? Finish at the point of control, move down, then create a flat in a wave Y. Take out the double top, and then you go down. I mean, would be amazing as well. Alternatively, wave Y can also be a triangle, which would be the boring scenario. Triangles generally are not as common, but that would just be a continuation of the range, pretty much. So in this scenario, in other words, you want to move up and then you expect price to move down, either in a triangle or a flat or an impulse. And then in the bullish scenario, 2, 3. This is where the similarity comes in, which is then represented by the polylines. Now the polylines here are in no particular order with regards to probabilities, because sometimes I will have like probabilities per scenario, and sometimes it's more directional probabilities, right? And when you analyze these different scenarios with the polylines, then this is basically what you get. Now, of course, after this white line, this is where stuff changes. But you can see that actually on the left side, price action is relatively similar, right? And that is what is attractive. So the polylines show the price action that is expected based on the Elliott wave scenarios in this range. So as difficult as some of these scenarios may sound, or having multiple scenarios in the range might be very tricky to follow exactly, like, what is this guy talking about? It can go up, can go down, can go sideways. Of course, it's all probabilities, right? And I always have my probabilities folder. So I analyze the different scenarios and then we get to the probabilities. But generally, we are looking for a retracement and then we take it from there, right? Depending on the move down, we will have a better idea of what's going to happen next in that case. Probabilities would suggest a retracement, but on the 15-minute, preferably, you take out the highs once more because the 886 is touched, and that would increase the probabilities to take out the double top at 102k. Now, that 15-minute probability of taking out the double top here, right, would increase, of course, the probabilities of then moving to this resistance. But also taking out the double top here increases, of course, probabilities to take out this high, decreases probabilities for a triangle, increases probabilities for either a 1, 2, 3 or the bearish scenario. Interesting. And then something that was mentioned at the very beginning of the live stream, right? So wait, let me summarize. Weekly time frame, we're still bullish. Daily time frame, wave 4 price action, we're still looking for price to move up after this range in the wave 5. And on the 1 hour time frame, the probabilities are highest, as written here, to look for a retracement, and then we take it from there. And on the 15-minute time frame, preferably we take the double top first before a retracement, which is in 3 of the scenarios would be very attractive indeed. Now, as mentioned by TP in the beginning of the live stream, right? So, hey, these scenarios are looking for a retracement. Is there a scenario where we just continue, right? We don't see that retracement. Of course, there is always a yes, but it's not the highest probability scenario. And that as an analyst is, of course, I have to follow the higher probability scenarios, especially in what I share. Now, if this over here would be a finished 1, so this is your most bullish but not highest probability scenario. If this would be your 1 and this is a finished 2, then this would be your 3 and you continue. Now, why are the probabilities not high for this? It's because of the retracement in your wave 2, which only touched the 0.236. And the 0.236 is a very rare target for a wave 2. And because it is so rare, it doesn't have the highest probabilities, right? And in the end, probabilities is all we can use. So therefore, from an Elliott wave perspective, the probabilities are higher to look for a retracement, and then based on the retracement, we will be able to figure out what the next step is and what the probabilities are for future scenarios. But we got to be a little bit patient. So yeah, that's it. Laurent, the join button in the description. It's 10, 2500 depending on the choice. So yeah, that's the Bitcoin analysis, right? Is there a good book or learning material about Elliott waves? I'm glad you asked because we are currently, well, I would say close to, it will probably still take a few weeks, but we're very close to finishing a Elliott wave compendium with such an amount of information. You've never seen it in one source before. There's no comparable document nor website out there with that amount of detail and information. It's going to be about 50 pages or something, and also includes things that I have discovered myself, like the 886. So that is going to come. And before that is live, because obviously it isn't live yet, I would recommend to click on the link tree in the description. Open the description, go to the link tree, go to Elliott Wave Education. Check out this public website, which is just it's a website that I found very useful when I learned Elliott Waves. I'm not affiliated to this website as well. Let me click here. This is just a public website. Everyone can use it, but it's been amazing in my journey back in the day. So I very much recommend it, right? It helped me a lot. Then you have also Elliott Wave Principle, which is a book which we are going to compete with, because this is, in my opinion, there's a lot more detailed information that we are going to give in the book that we are publishing. But Elliott Wave Principle is a nice book to have. It's not a requirement. It's more like a nice to have. There's more information in the website. So I would start with the website. And if you need more, you can always get the book. And then I have a playlist here, Elliott Wave Full Guide Playlist on my channel, which gives you all of the information you need about every structure in Elliott Waves. So, yeah, there you go. Guys, yeah, recently I shared a little teaser of the Elliott Wave compendium that we are making. Let me see, how many pages are we now? 1 second here. Like, it's crazy. We everything is in there. It's all of my knowledge, experience, the little details. It's all in here. It's, of course, a little bit about like where Elliott Waves come from, right? And then 1 second here, let me make this bigger. I can't show this on stream yet for obvious reasons, but there we go. A bit of a, oh, it's adjusting. I'm happy I got a new laptop. That will be a great improvement. So a bit about like Elliott Waves and the structure and the relationship with Fibonacci, and then of course we have all the Elliott Wave structures. But it's not just the structure. We talk about the subwaves, the volume, the common targets, the rare targets, the uncommon targets based on a personal star rating that we have developed. We talk about Fib time. There is a page on how to pull the Fib time, how to pull the Fibonacci's, the 886, channeling, what else? Like, we have a probabilities table. So what are the probabilities of different structures? There's going to be a bibliography index, like this is there's so much stuff in there. There's going to be bullish and the bearish structure. So very often in books and pages and PDFs, you only see the bullish structures. You never see the bearish structures. So we included all the bullish, but also the bearish structures, so that you know, in a different market environment, how does the structure look like, right? So, and currently we are having 53 pages. So I bet by the end of this, we're going to have about like 50, 60 pages maybe. It's gonna be a compendium, because if you check what a compendium means, a compendium, wait, let me show you. Since I've been living in France, every time I Google, right, I get like the French, I get the French stuff. So, oops, no, compendium, there we go. That's a compendium. Let me also write, by the way, here that the Elliott Wave analysis is concluded. Elliott Wave analysis. When did we start? At like, I think 17 minutes or something. Now, alts, chatting, and Q&A. And then put it pinned message. There we go. So, a compendium, right, is a comprehensive collection of information and analysis pertaining to a body of knowledge. Elliott waves in this case. So instead of having a very long book and a lot of text and that sort of stuff, we do have text, we do have explanations, we do a lot of writing, but it's a compendium in a way that it is very condensed with a shitload of information everything is in there. So it's more a compendium than it is a book. So therefore, it will be also like I don't yet know what the name is going to be, but it's a compendium more than it is a book. So why don't you bookmark the Dutch or English Google page? Good point. I don't know, like sometimes I Google, right? And I Google in English. So sometimes I get English sources and sometimes I get the French sources. But yeah, this might actually be an idea. Thanks, TP. Might be good. Let me have a quick look up here before we jump into some other charts. Anything. Organic wall with your logo. We have that at my work. Yeah, I'm interested. Send me a picture on WhatsApp, Tim. I'm interested to have a look. Answer this. I wish I was more on my bike, more of a summer activity. Yeah, I can imagine with all the rain and stuff. It's not too great. Roots. Yeah. He lived in the same village where I grew up. But what's nice about the village is everyone knew he lives there and no one really cares. That's the nice thing. Like when you see him walking around in the city center or at the football club, people are used to him and everyone just approaches him as another guy, which is nice for him as well, being in that environment. Amazing for taxes. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I'm only that bumped into Koens just the other week. Yeah, Tim, wow. We have bumped into each other for the past, 18 years? Nicholas Verhagen, good afternoon, Koen. How was Monaco? Was great. Just check my Instagram story. I don't really want to repeat. I quickly showed some of my Instagram things in the beginning of the stream, but we had a great time. And Monaco, I always enjoy being in Monaco. After an 886 touch, can we have an impulse down? You can, but it's not the highest probabilities because the 886 lowers the probabilities that you're looking at a wave 3. So if this is a 1, this is 2, and this is 3, you have your 886 here, which is touched, right? This 886 is rare for 2, common for a wave B or a wave X, increasing the probabilities that whatever move goes down here after touching the 886, the probabilities are higher. This is corrective. Think about a wave C. Think about a wave Y. Think about any other corrective structure. Even if you take out this low, right, looking for an ABC remains the higher probability. In other words, any move down, higher probability corrective, increasing the probabilities to still at a later stage or directly take out the high. That is what the 886 represents from an Elliott wave point of view, which is something I found about 2 years ago and then started implementing not 2 years ago, 1 year and a couple of months ago, not 2 years, maybe 1.5 or 1.25, but and then started implementing. And it's been very helpful. What's up, Milo? 85K mid-base channel. We're looking at the linear option, because the 3, I think 85K-ish is mid-base channel if we are looking at the leading diagonal option. The leading diagonal. Yeah, I have the multi one too, because the 3-wave dropped 12% out of the trend channel. Yeah, 85K, 85, I mean, let's have a look. 85, where is 85? At the 85 is literally at the low of this range. You don't really want to lose 85 because then you're going to move below the couple of 4 or 5s that you have. It wouldn't be too great. Gotta say that, of course, this price action on Bitcoin, if you think about it, right, in a way, it mimics a bit of the price action here, Do you guys recognize this? Where is my bars pattern? Yeah. Let's just take this whole thing here and drag it up. Okay, so let me try to position this in such a way that it actually looks decent. Like previously, I had this on my chart, so the big drop here does work nicely with the drop that we had on the 3rd of January this year. This is a much bigger structure though. Like there's no way I can make this work nicely. Let's do it something like this. You know what I mean? I guess you get the general idea of this structure. Makes me think of what we had before the ETF. And of course, price doesn't repeat, but it can run. Price can run. Is it gonna drop before Christmas? I mean, look, we can only play the probabilities. How deep a drop will be depends on the move down. Pre-orders accepted. At the moment I can't. We don't yet have a system. So I don't yet have a website. It's being built, and I guess in the beginning it's gonna go through Amazon Kindle. And probably for crypto, if people want to pay by crypto, it's probably a Google form like we have with the CVD thing. Can I get it for under my tree? I'm not sure if we're going to finish it in time, but we're working hard on it. Lauren, hopefully you're feeling well very soon, man. Winter sickness. How do I get 886? We want to measure targets for wave 2 so I can check targets for alts. Question in regard to the 1-2 wave. How do I get 886? I'm not too sure, yes, so what you mean exactly, but if you're talking about one, if you're talking about a 1 and then a wave 2, right? Your targets for a wave 2 are pulled from the start of 1 to the end of 1, right? And then your common target area for 2 is 05786. Minimum target would be the 382. It's very, very rare to get a 236 bounce. And then the 886 is one that you want to avoid as a wave 2. It would lower the probabilities for a wave 2. What do you think about the alts? Yeah, let's have a look at the alts, right? I will put that book every night under my pillow. Yeah, and then just absorb the information when dreaming. Well, we also have to think about pricing and stuff. I have no idea. You're one of the few people I know use and explain FIP time properly. Cheers, Agent J. I'm happy to hear that you learn stuff. That's the goal of the channel as well. Answer this. Do you set price alarms so you can catch these zigs and zags, even get woken in the middle? So I never wake up at night. I really value my sleep. So if there's any movement during the night and I miss out on it, that's no problem at all. I have enough waking hours to enter my positions and do my analysis. But I do set alarms, but those alarms are relevant during the day, right? So as you can see, for example, I have an alarm up here. So if price hits the point of control, right, I know that we are at that area, which it is an area of interest to me. So I generally put my alarms at areas where I have either interest in potential positions or taking profit or closing positions or, that sort of stuff. So it gives me information that when I'm not in front of the chart or I'm working on something else and I don't really focus on the chart or I'm out and about, the moment my alarm goes off, I know something happens that is relevant. But if the night falls and an alarm happens during the night, then of course, before I go to bed, I make sure that I have my trades well managed. right? And I prefer to be safe. How can I say this? Better safe than, better safe. I prefer to be better. No, how can I say this in a good English sentence? In my opinion, like if I go to sleep and I manage my positions, better safe than sorry. In other words, if we do hit some resistance during the night, I would prefer before going to bed to have a higher TP or close the trade fully than not doing this and finding out the next morning that the resistance had a great rejection and we fell down and I basically missed out on closing because I was asleep. I don't want to wake up to manage positions. On the other hand, if I close my trade at resistance and price continues pushing, I don't care, right? Because I booked my profit, earned my money, and of course, I manage my positions according to my risk-reward ratio, right? So of course, I need a decent RR in order for me to just fully close something, right? Else I'll TP instead of just close. But better safe than sorry. Preferably, I take either a bigger TP or I just, close the trade. And if it then continues pushing, I don't care because there's going to be a new setup anyway at some point. No problem. Might be to learn French the way you're doing it. I had a comment earlier about base channel you missed. I think I replied to both of the comments, but my French is definitely getting better and better. Francisco, thank you, sir. You're gonna hate your Mac for some time. Yeah, probably. It takes a little bit of time to adjust, but I'm a very curious person. I love to learn, so I actually think it might also be more of an enjoyable experience to try and get the hang of all this stuff. For the first time ever, I got an iPhone. Never had an iPhone. My phone was very old. Usually, I use stuff till it breaks, but it was time to upgrade the stuff, and I just wanted to try it out and see how it is. So, still messing around with it, but the learning curve was high. It was quick. Thanks, Ace Winner. Yeah, alts. All right. How do I get wave 1? How can I add individual fib targets to Tradingview? And then how do I get measure wave 2 in the bullish scenario? Individual targets in Tradingview, you just pull your fib, go to the settings, and then toggle on or off these boxes. Plus, you can change your fibs here as well if you want to. You can customize everything in the settings. And again, for a bullish 1-2, if you have a wave 1 and then a 2, you pull a fib from the low to the high. And then you go into settings and you can set your fibs, the ones that you are looking for. So this is how you can set individual fibs. And don't forget to make templates. So when you customize, I don't know, why is the 236 actually not here? Interesting. But if you customize your fib, then finally click on template, click on save as, and then just give it a name. And it really helps in Elliott waves. So a wave C down after an 886 would appear like an impulse, yes, but it would just be for the 5 waves further upside before the larger. Yes, if you touch an 886 and then go down, probabilities are higher. It's a wave C than a wave 3. Only, of course, if it's an impulse. Only if you really increase in volume and really start to move away, then you might consider wave 3s, but it's not common for that to happen. Is there a time frame that you have found that it takes to take out the high or low? Like how long does it take? Basically, no, because the 886 gives you a directional bias. So after an 886 touch, right, it is very common. Wait, how can I represent this? Probably like this. So after an 886 touch, it is quite common for price to move to the golden pocket. That's why I have a template for this as well. This happened on Ethereum, for example, right? We touched the 886, price moved down to the golden pocket, and then we moved back up again and just took out these highs here. Not yet the all-time high, a matter of time, really. And it's more about a directional bias. So the moment an 886 is touched, it's common for price to react at the 886 and see a bit of a rejection, right? And price moving. And then once an 886 is touched, the bias is take out that high. So with every drop you get, you're going to try and look for the opportunity to go long. No financial advice, but that is how I do it, right? I don't trade the 886 as just an individual level, right? I could go short or long, of course, at an 886. But what an 886 represents is a directional bias. Now, there is many 886 examples almost every day, right? Where you do see the 886 touched and then you get a rejection. Now, even here, right? This is not very common, but still, you touch the 886 here, take it from the high to the low, you move all the way down. But this structure counted as a corrective structure plus 886 touch, right? You touch the 886, you move down, probabilities are higher that whatever follows is corrective. This, right, is simply a zigzag family structure down, and you come back up, take the high. In this case, it took a while, right? It took a while for price to take out the 886 high, but the directional bias did not change, right? The directional bias was for price to indeed take out that high, which eventually, of course, it did. But it can also take a very short amount of time, and I'm just trying to find a nice quick example here on a 1 hour chart. Oh, here's an example, right? Here, another example where you do move down, but you touch the 886 here, and then you move back up. Yeah. And there's undoubtedly more examples that you can find if you want to. Here's another one, 886, golden pocket, move down, took the low, right? So this is a couple of hours. But you can see this on, it doesn't matter, 15-minute, 1 hour, daily chart. This is on the 1 hour during a downtrend. 886 is touched here, moves up, golden pocket, rejects, takes the low. A couple of hours and you're done. So, yeah. Some of the alts. What's up, Alpha? How you doing? Yeah. I can't keep up. Better safe than sorry. Don't be dumb. Don't be silly. Put the con TP. Okay. Now that we I'm here. Do you share entries in Diamond? No, I'm not a signal service. I hate signal services. I very much believe people should do their own thing. I help people in Diamond to create a plan or a strategy, and that I help people to fish for themselves. I'm not going to fish for other people. Now, of course, based on my analysis, people probably generally have an idea of my trades and what positions I'm into. But I hate people like doing signal service and stuff. I think it's a big weakness of the trading industry. I'm very much against that. It doesn't help anyone. Right. I think people are trying to shortcut their way to success instead of putting effort and energy into creating their own plan and strategy, which will benefit you way more than any signal service can benefit you, period. So, yeah. And if you don't want to learn and build a plan or a strategy, and instead you want to look for, let's say, a signal service, then I am not the channel. Yeah, but if you're short in time, then you need to develop a plan or a strategy that matches your time. So maybe a swing trading strat or, a day trading strat that works outside of certain working hours. But no, I don't do signals. I'm very happy to trade for myself, but I help people to create plans and strategies, which in my opinion is the only way to go. Yeah. Are you going to charge some alts later in the stream? Right now. So let's get started. I'm gonna get my Gotta get my little book here. By the way, before we start talking about alts, let me first show this. This is from yesterday, and then 2 days ago, 6 days, 7 days. If your alt is in this list, it's very likely the analysis has not changed since then. I always try to have a variety of alts, right? But also check this out here, right? So this is the altcoin playlist. You can find it if you go to the LINKTREE, and then you scroll down to playlists, and then altcoin Elliott wave analysis. If you're in Diamond, I can speak. Yeah, we have the Discord group, and of course you can ask questions, and I'm there to help and inform, and make sure that So of course in silver I update all the time the chart and write everything out. In gold it's about shortening the learning curve of Elliott waves, and in diamond it's all about building a plan. And yes, I am there to help people to build that plan. Yeah. Depending on their own tools, but all the files and the videos and everything is there shared in Diamond. Okay, so let's have a look. Okay, like ONDO. I don't think we have done ONDO any time recently, so let's have a look then. ONDO. Very nice. Okay, so we have, of course, BTC. And now, what's the time of the stream? Wow, we're already past an hour. Holy moly, man. So yeah, of course we always cover the higher time frames on the alts. Now this analysis, it's already a bit old, but this is what we were looking for. So a 5-wave structure to the upside, and then a corrective structure. Now this was the main support box, point of control, weekly level, another point of control here, 786, golden pocket, all of the good stuff. What's this here? Remove that. Now since then, of course, yeah. What to say, price moved up to all-time highs. And from a Elliott wave perspective, right, this local structure, most important to look at the local structure, would be counted as a 1 2 1 2 and then 3, or of course a single 1 2. In both cases, however, you are still looking for wave 4s and 5s, right? So you're still looking for bigger ranges and then continuation to the upside. So in other words, on ONDO, you're still looking for higher prices. You're still looking for higher prices from an Elliott wave point of view. No? Now you can count 1 2 1 2 1 2 and then 3 and then 4 5 4 5 4 5, right? But probabilities are higher to still look for higher prices on ONDO. And then either this is counted as a double 1 2 or a single. I would go for probably a double would work better than a single here, and then have and then you have price moving to the upside. We touched the 886 locally, taken from the high to the low here, increasing probabilities to take the high as well. So yeah, probabilities remain higher there to take out the high. So yeah, ASML Hamza, I'll have a look. I actually never did ASML. This is not an alt. I know. But having a quick look here about what all of this is about here. So my chart goes back to 1995. 1 2 3 4 5, expanding diagonal, wave 1. This is your 2. So we then have 1 here, 2 here, 1 2 3 4 5. This is another one, another 2. Then we got our wave 3 price action. 1 2. 1 second here, 1 second, 1 second. One, two. So this is at the moment quite a three-way structure, by the way, locally. Gotta be aware of a flat, of course, whenever that happens. Now we are on a monthly chart, right? So on a monthly chart, probabilities are higher to move up. You got a very big double 1-2 here, and at the moment you only have a small potential 4 here, which could of course match your 2 here, but you don't have a very big range similar to what you had here in 2 for a 4. So on a very high time frame, you're still looking for price to move up without going in too much detail, also with regards to time. Locally here though, this is very, very three-wavy. I don't think we touched. No, we didn't touch the 886, so there's still the potential of a double 1-2. So bearish, of course, would be A, B, and then C. Take out the low. W, X, Y. A little bit lower. Would be nice to go a little bit more down though. Even if you would count W, X and a flat in Y, the 0.618 would be a minimum target, which is a little bit lower still. It's always interesting to analyze charts with such gaps. At the moment, the move to the downside here is very much a three-wave structure. Highest amount of volume in the recent move down. If this is bearish, you're looking for wave 4 and 5 price action. So highest volume, most common for wave 3. Right? If you change the structure, that's bullish because then you have a three-waver to the downside. So you would be looking for zigzags in that case, and not impulsive structures. So yeah, on the monthly time frame, you're still looking for higher. On the weekly, got to be aware of flat WXY. This is, especially if you take out this low, yeah, you could argue 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but you also have a 2 here, which can match this 4. This 4 would be shorter in time than this 2. So, and that's less common. So in other words, you would preferably count this then as this being an individual impulse and this being an impulse, but that creates a three-wave structure. If you move down a little bit further, take out the lower, touch the 886, reduces probabilities for a double 1-2, increases probabilities that this move is corrective and that this whole thing is a corrective structure. And then you got to be aware of flats and your WXY. But yeah, locally here, of course, at the moment you have a three-wave structure down. If you change structure bullish, look for the high. Be mindful of the potential of 1-2-1-2, right? So you don't take out the high. Yeah, so you want to change structure and then be bullish. If you continue falling, then be aware of the potential of an impulse. You got to change the structure here. Oh shit, I forgot to write down ASML. Oops. So, okay, then we have, wait. For link, please go to this, right? 2 days ago. Nothing changed on link. OPUL, I think I've never seen OPUL yet, so that's an interesting one. Oh wait, symbol. Okay, OPUL, OP, others. No, I've never done that yet. Nice. OPUL USD. I always like seeing new charts. So let's see. Wow. What's this, yo? Okay. Interesting. Let me write it down. OPUL 11030. It's also nice to do many different alts, known and unknown ones, because sometimes you get to an alt and it's like the craziest opportunity. Like for example with SUI, before it started pushing, we were analyzing SUI already when it was moving down, analyzing it as a zigzag family structure. And I think of all the alts that I have analyzed, that has been the craziest best performer by a mile. And I never heard about SUI. It just happened to appear back like many months ago in one of the live streams as people requested it. It's crazy. So we have the all-time low here. What's this? It took the low. It literally swinged in the low. What's the volume? No volume. Wait, do we have a chart with volume? I do like... Maxi. Okay, I guess it looks a bit wicky. I do like to use volume. Not sure how trustworthy the Maxi volume is though. BitGet. Oh no. Yeah, okay. Well, Gate.io. It's difficult to really know which chart provides trustworthy volume. So, but at least on Maxi as well as here, you do see a bit of an uptrend in the volume. That's something. Now, first of all, price is still pretty much at all-time lows, right? So everything that's on the left side of this low is for me irrelevant to counting. Right? I want to start on the right side of the most recent low. So in that case, we had a big move down, nice, but now we start ranging sideways. And from an Elliott wave point of view, actually I do like that other chart where we took the low for this reason that I'm gonna explain right now, this one here, due to the potential here of an flat. And you took out this low by a small margin, right? This is your, let's see, 44955, 448. This one is lower. Too messy. So in this case, we don't have a flat. It's very big, but you know, if you want to be bullish and this has to be your one, this is always going to be a corrective structure because we took out the high and not the low. Just double checking this. Yes, that's correct. We took out the high and not the low. So this is always going to be a zigzag family structure down. This is then a zigzag family structure up. Why? Because you took the low here again. And then you have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 move to the downside in C. So there's the potential here for a finished flat structure. All right. Now, of course, from a bullish perspective, if you're looking for a move up impulse, flat corrective structure, you can't really go any deeper. Right? Preferably, therefore, you finish your corrective structure and you look for price to move to the upside. So we didn't have our 1, we have our 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Colors, let's make it green, keep it green. Volume, of course, increasing on the MACD chart and the Gate.io chart here as price is moving up, which is also something that you, of course, would like to see. And this one candle here can of course be another 1, 2. So you have a 1, 2, 1, 2, and you're starting to work on a wave 3. Now the previous range here is always interesting resistance, which we just missed out on touching the low here of the, maybe on your chart, green candle. So on my chart, the gray candle here. But previous range, always important resistance. We're on a weekly time frame, monthly. Oh, it's also a monthly order block. Okay, yeah, no, so there you go. This is a monthly order block. So that is your resistance to the upside. See what the volume has done here. There. Oh, by the way, we also have a weekly order block here, which has been tested once. So if you can make it up here, the probabilities are low for it to hold. Why do I pull a volume profile while it doesn't even show me the volume at the bottom of the chart? Now, bullish would be, of course, 1, 2, 1, 2, look for 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, then a bit of a rejection. This could be a potential new bear market, and then you move towards the upside. Bullish, of course, is to flip this resistance, right? And if you do get here, then, I mean, you tested this area already once. So, of course, probabilities are then high for this to fill because this is your next support resistance area around 0.35. And if you pass this, then yeah, it's not a lot left. You might have a little hiccup here at 1.93 and sky's the limit then, no? So, but you want to count, you need impulses up and volume moving up as you then move towards the upside, no? So, has potential, right? You don't want to change the structure. That would be bearish. Currently, this move down, of course, has a three-wave structure to it. And if I then pull a fib here, then we also touch the golden pocket. So a wave 4 here, this being a 4 is invalidated. Increasing probabilities of a zigzag. Bearish would be 1, 2, 1, 2 down. Changing the structure invalidates this. But the fact you touch the 618 locally does increase probabilities of it also being a corrective structure. So yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, correction made. You even had an 886 touch here. That's nice. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5. Yeah, okay. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, 4, 5. Retest. That would of course be nice, right? That you counted like this, then you close an impulse, maybe higher, of course. Then you come back down, retest support resistance, and then you continue. So yeah, with the local structure, I mean, probabilities are higher for the bulls. You can clearly count a flat here, and then count 1, 2 impulsive structure, and then have another 1, 2 here. As long as you don't change the structure, there's no invalidation for the bulls. So yo, beer a bit, man. Welcome. Oh, Hamza, welcome, man. Like, by the way, there's a story with Hamza because Hamza booked tickets at the beginning of this year to go to Hans Zimmer in Nice. But due to work-related things, he couldn't go anymore. And then he offered the channels to myself and my wife. And then we got the tickets from him. And then we had the opportunity to go to Hans Zimmer, which was on the 30th of November, almost 2 weeks ago, which was great. And hopefully, Hamza, you will be able to go to another show. He will be in Rotterdam next year in like September, not too far away from you, of course. So, yeah, welcome to Silverman. Make sure to fill in the link, which you probably have done, like the form. I mean, the form. No. No leverage trading. Yeah, manage your portfolio accordingly. Like, if this thing goes to zero, then it's just the way it is, right? You're still at all-time lows pretty much, but there is of course definitely at least potential, and that's nutty, Wait, 6,000. Wait, what are we talking about here? Wait. Of course, this is just fun, like funny calculation thing, but that's a crazy move. But yeah, like step by step would be, of course, crazy if in a bull market it goes all the way. But first, potential for 5-waver, retest, create a double 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, and then you move into a 3. Could be a very attractive potential move there. Yeah. What's your favorite Hans Zimmer song? Ooh, I really like Time. I think Time is great. Pirates of the Caribbean, obviously. I think that's one of my favorite. Like, I mean, I answered the question of my favorites. So I think those two are high up there. Yeah. And they were both played as well. Nice. Brussels and Rotterdam. Yeah. How do I get silver? Discord. Just fill in the form. Have you filled in the form? Inception Time. Yeah, exactly. Probably you filled in the form, but let me quickly share this. Membership form, access for that one. You probably have done it, but if not, that one. Do you think alts will go down together with Bitcoin? If Bitcoin goes down, then alts tend to follow. But once Bitcoin starts ranging again, you have the potential of altcoin seasons, of course. Thanks, Mark, by the way. You have the potential for altcoin seasons in bull markets, of course. Just like what we have with Bitcoin ranging sideways for the past weeks, and then the alts have the opportunity to fly. But of course, before a range on Bitcoin starts, you first need a retracement that creates the range. And generally, alts tends to move with Bitcoin, of course, during that first stage. So I was wondering if you do stocks as well. Yeah, I do actually. NVIDIA and Tesla are sometimes requested. I think I even have one of them in my list here. But I'll do. I only tend to do one a person to keep the variety on. NVIDIA was mentioned first. So the thing with NVIDIA, oh yeah, so we finally took the high, which was the highest probability. On a lower time frame, we touched that 886. So didn't we touch it? 4 hour? From the high to the low, 886 touched, took out the high. Very nice. Now, what I don't generally like to do is count this whole thing. I also don't have it. I'm very much focusing here on more local structures, which is more interesting to me. So in a bull market, you definitely want to hold the previous range. And the 886 was touched, increasing probabilities to take the high. Touched 886, took the high. Very nice. Now at the moment, we create the low 3-way structure down. So this, of course, is now a confirmed corrective move. This is at the moment a 3-waver, right? We can count 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a 5 here. So of course, ABC bearish. 1, 2, 3 sideways, 4, 5 would be bullish, but no overlap allowed with the high of your 1, which almost happened. So 1, 3, 1 would invalidate a potential wave 4, only leaving you with a 1, 2, 1, 2 as a bullish scenario. But of course, invalidating wave 4 also strengthens the case for the potential of a continuation of the range. Now, I don't know much about how stocks compare with Bitcoin, but how much is this move? I mean, it's quite significant still, right, for stocks. I mean, 60-70% move to the upside, not bad. But at the moment, this is a 3-waver. So let's check local for our. Okay, this is the high. Yeah, there's definitely the potential here to count an impulse. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5. 3-wave correction, potentially still correcting, but it does increase probabilities to take out this low. Just missed out on the 886 at 133. But of course, 131 is the previous high of 1. And if you test that, then a double 1, 2 is your only bullish scenario. Bearish scenario is ABC up. And then you have a 3, 3. And you're either going to label this as an X or a B. And then you look for flat in Y, triangle in Y, or a C down to move below the low of A. And then you continue up again. Monthly time frame. Yeah. Oh well. 1 2 1 2 3 4 5 4 5, and then the next range might be this 2, get a bigger 4, and then 5, and then afterwards another 4, and then 5. And hopefully by that time we're not living anymore, because this is going to be really bad. So but yeah, you know, like upside on the monthly, this is clearly still just impulsive. These two ranges here, I mean, they match better with what happened here. Possibly this one is already as a 4 taken, but you then still have this one. So yeah, on a higher time frame, still looking for higher on NVIDIA. On the weekly, I am very aware. I would like to see some more signs of strength. The probabilities were higher to take the high, and that has now happened. So now it's back to being patient. And on the 1 hour time frame, there's the potential of counting an impulse down for price to take the low. Keep an eye on the 886. And yeah. That's NVIDIA, no? So as the 886 probabilities just played out, patience comes back, no? NVIDIA. Head and shoulders. Yeah, but it's too early there, right? So shoulder, head, create another shoulder. And also a head and shoulders structure can have many different Elliott wave counts. So I of course, I don't really trade head and shoulders, but a head and shoulder in this case, right? You can think about A, B, and then A, B, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, flat continuation. We can think 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, bear market, right? 3, 4, 5, A, B, C, continuation up. So there's a bit of a variety. It's a bit too early for head and shoulders. Of course, we actually still want to see this, and then here is where we can consider the head and shoulders. Yeah, maybe a band-aid, man. What's up? Cheers, another one. This guy joins every live stream. He had a good period of trading, and he's like gifting every live stream the past days. Insane. Tara Osborne, please fill in the form here. Select gifted bronze, and we will get you sorted and bump you up to silver. So the right shoulder is a little higher than the left. Oh, 3 little humps. Okay, that have since the high. Oh, okay, on the lower time frame. Yeah. That's possible. Yeah, I tend to, of course, stick around on the higher, but yeah, you can have definitely on the lower time frame a bit of a head and shoulder there. Can you chart KOINOS? What's KOINOS? KOINOS. Oh, here. Okay. Am I? Wait. Koen, lol. Coin. Os. So it's written like this, coin. It's always best to give me the shortcut, not the full name. Oh boy. One 30, 20. Okay, all-time low. Everything on the left doesn't matter. If we forget about this wick here, then the highest volume is here. So that would be labeled your 3. So there's going to be 2 scenarios here. Let me start with the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. First of all, this move, of course, counts as an impulse. Now, an impulse can also be wave C of a flat. But if this is a flat, we need A, B, C. And your B is too deep. Far beyond the 1.618, which isn't great. And counting this as a flat like A, B, and this C so extended, it's not high probability. So then you start looking at impulsive structures. But it starts to look like it's close to being finished as the first structure, at least. So this is a finished impulse. Your second option is to do this. Price moving up, volume decreasing, wave 4, 5 price action. So no problem to still move up, but it's based on the move that you have going on here. It starts to become I would never short randomly, but it starts to be interesting to at least consider retracements as well. Ooh, point of control with the golden pocket. Not bad area. Oh, that's a nice one. Put that in there. Okay, that's a nice area of support. Monthly. There we go, back to, I did something wrong there. Currently we're at a weekly, kind of past it though. This is a weekly horizontal support resistance level, but we did close a candle above. So we have tested it now, so it's not as relevant. No dailies here. $500. Okay. 0.665. Wow. Okay, so that's your resistance. It's quite a stretch though from where you are now. Still over 100%. Okay. 7-1. Yeah, it's the same area. So yeah, that is a big resistance area here, starting at 6.5 to 7.8. Okay, it's always interesting to, of course, also look for supports and resistances. Now, with regards to the impulse, as long as you so first of all, you don't want to lose this. 0.20 would be a bit of a problem. This at the moment is your highest volume structure to the upside. So naturally 1-2s are counted, and then you get into 4-5s, and then you have a classic impulse, right? You have your 1-2s, you get your 3 up, and then you get your 4-5s. Grind, boom, and grind. And at the moment, if we just look at the structure, right, you don't have to be an expert, you see this on the chart at the moment, right? You see the grind here, you see the push, and you see the grind. So it makes sense, of course, to look for like retracements as well. Now locally though, on the 1 hour time frame, the highest amount of volume is in the low, big wick, and we have overlap if we are bearish, right? You want to count, 1 second here. We have an 886 touch at the high, side note. If we're bearish, then this is counted as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, doesn't work. Overlap between 1 and 4. Then we have to go 1, 2, 1, 2. That's your bearish scenario. But your wave 2 here is longer than your higher degree wave 2. Lowers the probabilities, not an invalidation though. Then you have diagonals, but this then becomes an expanding diagonal, very rare, never preferred. So it increases probabilities this is corrective and that you're still looking for price to take the high in confluence with an 886 touch. So that would be nice. But yeah, you know, like how far can this still go before you get a retracement? Would be quite nice to, of course, like this push in 3 is of course big in green. So I won't be surprised if your green 4 and then you're looking for a green 5 can reach the big resistance, go into a bear market and then continue up after. Would be interesting. Support though, like this is good support. This is very interesting. 0.15, 0.17. So that's KOIN for you. KOIN. What's Bitcoin doing at the moment? We're almost there. Jeez, takes so long, man. Now we touch the 886 again, eh? Yeah. Okay. Ethereum was covered. So ETH was covered here, which is, well, 2 days ago. It says here 1 day, but so everyone, by the way, if you go to the Linktree, link in the description, right? And then you see this. If you then scroll down to the Altcoin Elliott Wave Analysis playlist, you click, it opens this. All the coins are in here. And because I analyzed the high time frames, ETH, for example, 2 days ago hasn't changed. So I would recommend checking it out. I try to have a lot of variety so that everyone has a lot of different coins and a lot of different things. And if one of these become like older, let's say, then it's interesting to reanalyze it. But the alts, I only do the high time frame. So yeah. So Ethereum 2 days ago is here. So just go to the altcoin stream, check out the timestamps and everything is in there. So yeah. Let me make this a group. What's group 1, by the way? Oh wait, that's the count. Nice. And also by organizing the streams like this, we can do a lot of different alts. So we might find opportunities, thanks to you guys, because you mentioned alts, instead of always having the same Ethereum and Solana again and XRP again and that, you know, like, and Link again. Like instead, we have so much variety here that by watching the stream, you might actually find an alt you had no idea existed and might be your best bag. So it's super interesting. So yeah, people. Haven't done people. Let's have a look. Wait, is this the chart with the most history? People, USD. This is Binance, Bybit. Yeah, okay, looks like it. Volume is loading. Okay, it's a similar chart, so I guess we. Okay. $840, $845, $850. This is the low. Okay. This is a 618 touch. By the way, 886 retracement takes out the high. Nice. That's nice. We wicked. If this is all-time high, we wicked it, but I'm not sure if there's more history on some other charts. What can we make of this, you know? So because this range went so deep, counting this as a 4 doesn't make a lot of sense. It hit the 618, which is incredibly rare. The highest amount of volume is currently here, so arguably, of course, at least a scenario to keep in mind, taking into account the wave 4 618 touch, is a 1 2 1 2 3 4 5 4 5, and then you end your impulse retracement and you look for continuation. This is then your bear market again. Let's put it on the chart. Is it pretty? No, absolutely not pretty. Your force, this 4, let's see, is this 4 really big compared to 2? A little bit difficult to measure there on the low time frame. No, okay, it's still fine. It's still fine. Yeah, that's okay. But your wave 4 here did move to the 618. These are that's like the alts sometimes. Wave 4 of a higher degree likes to retrace to the wave 4 of a lower degree. So this range is your support. Fibonacci target. The 382 is touched and respected, which is nice. That is something we at least want to see. Yeah, and then you're in price discovery, so God knows how far 5 goes. Of course, we can have targets, but yeah. I mean, this makes sense, except for the wide wave 4, but highest volume is in this low. This is on Bybit. Structure wise, made a high, down, correction. Looks like a double zigzag-ish structure. We can't really count this as a, it's a 1 2 1 2 3 4 5 4 5. If that is the case, then this is your 2 high. Let me be a bit more precise here. Looks like you missed out on the 618. Of course, it's a bit stupid to count this as a 2 and then this is your 4. 2 is one candle and 4 is this whole thing. It doesn't make sense, man. It doesn't make sense at all. So I'm just, you know, the trick is, can you count this as an impulsive structure? If yes, then it requires more patience. If no, you look for upside. That's basically it. So we made another low on lower volume, so it's worth considering it. 1 2 1 2 3 4 5 4 5 1 2. You can't have 1 2 3 4 5 unless you go into expanding diagonals, but those are very rare. I don't like counting this as a 2 against this being a 4. Doesn't make sense. And if we would count 1 2 3 4 5, we get into expanding diagonals. And with an expanding diagonal, your wave 5 is shorter than your wave 3, which isn't allowed. So it does increase the probabilities that that move down here is a corrective structure, this, which does increase probabilities to take the high again. So far, this range, by the way, has held very nice. 1 2 3 4. Oh, by the way, you have the potential here for a diagonal. WXY double zigzag. 1 2 3 4 5. I think it's too big for the probabilities of a flat. A B B. Yeah, it's longer than twice the length of A plus B. Potential here then for a flat. Invalidation is the low. This is your 2, or somewhere close. And then you want to look for a continuation, and then you would take out the high. So then you count 1 2, and then you look for 3 4 5. Touch the 886 over here. Yeah, not bad. But by all means, besides the local time frame, it does count better here as a corrective structure and to still look for the high, which would support looking for a 5. But after the 5, like, then it becomes you gotta watch out, you know. We looked at BTC at the beginning of the stream, but then after Bitcoin, we just look at other structures. We already covered Bitcoin and all the probabilities at the beginning. I forgot to write Bitcoin Elliott wave analysis at 17 minutes. So this is BTC. So and then when we finish the Bitcoin analysis, I just look at other stuff because then Bitcoin is basically finished. Yeah. Yeah, we did Bitcoin at the beginning. Yeah. Welcome also, by the way, Tarun Mirpuri. Good to have you back again, man. Alana, yeah, I know, right? Sometimes English is tricky. I have not been here for a while. LTC is a very long time ago. So let me see what I have here. This is my old, very long time ago. These are my old color fibs back in the day. 1 2 and then up here. Okay. So we have what the A B C D E. A B C. Oh wait, I think here I got this. A B C D E. Okay, potential for a finished triangle. If not finished, A, B, C, D, E. That would then be double zigzag. W, X, Y, D, E, up. But that's just a continuation of the range, so that's not special. Let's remove this. This looks not too bad here. I don't know. So I have a 1, and then I have 2, A, B, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, C, flat on top of the naked point of control. I do have an invalidation here, so I must have sometime revisited this chart around November, which isn't too long ago actually. But interestingly, oh, wait a minute here, LTC. Okay, so it is only 9 days really. Yeah, in that case, nothing changed. Let me quickly write down the time, because I do have to write down the timestamp. Shit, what is the chart that we did just now? Was the one we did before, was that KOIN? Oh man, I forgot to write it down. Sometimes I'm so bad with that stuff. Coinos, yeah, I think it was KOIN. Oh, people. Thanks, Curtis. I need to write it down for my. So I make sure to have timestamps in place. And this is, of course, LTC. 150. Yeah, like we're either looking for a triangle continuation sideways and then move up, or finish triangle impulse up, or 1, 2 are already finished and you impulse up. So yeah, the probabilities remain higher on LTC to still look for upside here. And we do have a bit of volume increasing as well. So very locally, we would have a couple of 1, 2s, 3, and then you still look for 4, 5s to come at a later stage. Currently retesting resistance into support, right? Check 1, check 2, third time, might fall, no? If you pause this, then yeah, is there anything close above us? Oh yeah, I mean, we have a monthly. Value area high. Yeah, so 183 to 200-ish, right? Resistance. But in this case, of course, if you like in a 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, right? You eventually look for 3 and then 4, 5, 4, 5, 4, 5. So you look for up, couple of 4s, couple of 5s, and then eventually you get a bigger 4, bigger 5, right? And what's this now? I'm gonna remove this, keep that, and keep this. And with the triangle scenario, either you have your triangle finished and then you count 1, 2s, 4, 5s, bigger retracement, continuation. And then unfinished triangle, up, down, continuation. And then this is your wave 1. So yeah, it doesn't look bad, no. But you're still, highest volume is in the recent move up. So you would still be looking for 4, 5s to the upside. So higher prices to be expected on LTC. So let me be very clear here. Laksha Wadwani, I am on YouTube doing this absolutely free, online for everyone. There is 87 people watching. At the beginning, over 100. There has been 850 views. There's hundreds of comments with many alts and many things and many whatever. I analyze the chart, and whenever I look back at the chat, I quickly select something and I continue. I don't care if someone posts like the same thing 100 times in my chat, and maybe sometime posts it only 1 time in chat. I just pick stuff randomly, right? I don't have any personal problems with anyone in here, right? I don't know anyone in person, at least, except for Tim, by the way. But I don't have anything against you. You can mention this 50 times. I might not see it 50 times, or I skip it 50 times because there's 50 times another coin or another thing that I happen to select. So quite honestly, I don't care about the luck and whatnot, or someone gets skipped. That's not my problem, right? I'm doing this for free. I try to give as much information and value, and that's that. So not my problem. Fuck's sake. Anyway, because of this, I'll just first do LCX. And then we get to whatever your shit wants to be to see, and then I quit the live stream and continue my day very happily. So wait. Okay. Yeah, probability is higher to still look for higher prices on LCX. So kind of brutal. Well, maybe not. I think what's kind of brutal is the fact that someone's spending 2 hours analyzing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 charts, and you know, you can't force me to look at any chart. So either you hate it or you love it. If you hate it, then you can go somewhere else. So anyway, so here on LCX, yeah, look, first of all, probabilities are higher to still take out the high. Locally, on the daily, probably we can count 1, 2. You would still look for 3, 4, 5, right? So you're still looking for wave 4 price action and 5 on a lower time frame. Maybe there's a double 1, 2 here as well. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 1, sideways 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Highest volume in the recent move. This looks like a flat, so this might only be your first 4, and then a 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 4, 5, 4, 5. All right, so in that case, you're still looking for higher. This is on a daily, but it will take a couple of weeks probably to have that play out. So it might be interesting to then look back at this coin again at a later stage. Of course, we have a move down and we are moving up. Counting this as a 1, 2, 1, 2 is, of course, incredibly bullish. And the second 2 is around the same size as the first. I do think your second 1 would be longer. Yeah, the second 1 is longer, so it's not ideal. So one has to consider 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Of course, expanding diagonals, always rare, right? Never preferred unless everything else fails, but you got to be aware of it because your second 1 in a 1, 2, 1, 2, and then another 1, 2, of course, that would be incredibly bullish. And I don't really favor such scenarios that are way out of line, let's say, of like it's so bullish it's almost unrealistic. Of course, there's always the potential, but you can see like we have a volume peak here. We got close here. We actually just missed out on taking out the previous volume peak, Coinbase chart. But let's see what the volume does when you move up. So locally, we are still looking for higher. And then once you end your 5 and you reject, let's see what we get, right? Because there's the potential at least for an expanding diagonal here where 3 is longer than 1. Oh, wait, is 4 deeper, by the way, than 2? That's a good question. Yes. So that's good. So that's a requirement. So that's nice. And then you're looking for 5. But of course, your 5 needs to be longer than your 3, so that's actually, even that is still, that's quite crazy. You're looking for 0.90, so that is still a 200% move even for an expanding diagonal. So arguably 1 2 1 2 1 2. If this move is going to be shorter than this one, then a triple 1 2 would potentially increase in probabilities. Flat A, B, C, and then a flat in B is low probabilities, so that's not great. So yeah, focus on the low time frame stuff. Couple of 4-5s still left. Quite likely you might move into all-time highs, but yeah, after 5 is finished of this move up, I'd be very, very careful, because then the structure becomes either very bullish or you get, after an expanding diagonal, a very deep retracement. So yeah. Also, guys, another thing, I do not, thanks for the €2 of course, GL, but I do not analyze any coins based on donations, because then I would become a sellout streamer, and that is not something that I like to become. But I appreciate the support, of course. STRK. Okay, well, there you go then, whatever this is. Might be a flat. 618 touched. 618 touched. Oh wait, we actually made a lower low here. So 1 2 3 4. This is also, in order to be bullish here off the lows, this is also diagonal stuff again. Of course, this is a clear 3-wave structure. So a 1 2 in that case is in place. Diagonal 1, 3-wave correction. But this is very ugly. Oh wait, you also can't count as 1 2 3 4 5, of course, because of the overlap here. Unless you talk about diagonals, but then you're going to have a 1 2 1 2. So the overlap kills the 4. Most bullish is then the triple 1 2, of course, but then again we go into triple 1 2s, right? 1 2 1 2, another 1 2, and then you get your 3, which would mean like you need another altcoin season, of course, or another altcoin big push for that to happen. Let me go to the 4-hour here. It might be more clear. Okay, yeah. So probabilities are higher to still look for higher, right? Highest amount of volume is in the low, most common for a wave 3. 1 2 3 4 5. That would need to be a 5er. 1 2 3 4 5. But would wave 3 be the shortest wave in this case? No, it's longer than 1. Oh, I'm being called. 1 second. Give me a minute. Okay, yeah. So look, highest amount of volume is in the low. Most commonly, wave 3 has the highest volume, not a wave 5. If this is bearish, then your 5 has the highest volume, which in probability terms is just not as common, which of course increases probabilities. This is a 3-wave structure. However, there is of course, if this is a 3-waver, it would be like a double zigzag. There's definitely the potential to count a 5-wave here to the downside. Even though your 5 is the highest volume, there's not a clear 3-wave structure here to the downside. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. You would need a double zigzag then, being a WX, and then your Y is mega extended, or you're going to count an impulse with a 5. That's basically your two picks on the 1 hour time frame. On the daily, it looks incredibly 3-wavy. Very, very fast move. It's of course, by the way, also a support resistance flip. Now that I see it here. So that is positive. You're retesting resistance into support. It's a bit more traditional analysis here, but from an Elliott wave point of view, you are moving up. Volume has been increasing. Highest amount of volume is in the low. It is less common for a 5 compared to 3s, so that would give probabilities to the bulls that this is corrective and take out the high. It's just that the move down is not a very clear 3-wave structure. There's the potential to count it as a 5, so of course one has to be aware of looking for a 5, 3, 5, tested again, and then continuation up. But it at the moment, yeah, like 1, 2, 1, 2. Yeah, you're still looking for 4, 5s, at least 2. So you would still look for higher prices. You touch this gap for the first time. If you come back there, this range will be your next resistance around 1, 110. And oh, here, support, resistance, resistance, support. Yeah, I mean, that's bullish, and it would fit with a multi 1-2 count with looking for corrective structure and then continuation up. And if you move above here, the next target would be about 110, 120 for resistance. So there you go. And then finally send, that's the end. I will analyze it, but this is the last one, and then I gotta go, and then we call it a day. So got no I don't want to be in front of the charts. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This range here is too short for a 4, so you're still looking for higher prices on send. There you go. Okay. And that's that. So because your 2 is way longer than your 4, most commonly 4 is longer than 2. There's no range here the size of your 2. So in other words, you're still looking for upside. Any move to the downside, higher probability corrective, increasing probabilities to take out the high. Cool, there we go. So we have done a Bitcoin, ONDO, can't even read, ASML, which is a stock, OPUL, NVIDIA stock, KOIN, People, LTC, LCX, STRK, or whatever, STRK, and SAND. And I'm going to call it a day. So we've been online for 2 hours, 10 minutes. And family of my wife is leaving soon back to South Africa as well. So another day will be another live stream. That will then be tomorrow. So tomorrow, another live stream. Let's see if we're only going to cover Bitcoin or if I consider doing some alts again. But yeah, for now, let's see. Bitcoin probabilities haven't changed. Make sure you trade safe, and tomorrow morning will be a new Bitcoin update. Tomorrow afternoon will be a new live stream, starting with Bitcoin, and then we'll see if we're going to do any alts, yes or no. So have a good day, afternoon, morning, night, wherever you live. See you at the next one.